So once again, welcome to Creative Converse. My name is Jason Miracle, your favorite host, and today it's a pleasure to welcome one of our good friends, big boys in Oka, the CEO of Geo Properties, the director of the Dr. Dennis Talk Show, the director of um, Dennis Orji Project, film producer, director, content creator. So, Dennis, it's been a long journey home. Growing up in Lagos, having the flares of what the industry is like, and then coming down here. What has your struggles been like?
Well, I would say, firstly, thank you for having me in your podcast. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The struggle so far has been amazing, but very stressful though. Let me start with the story of the very first time I would have started acting film. I think I was about 10 years. We had Lillian Batch,
Yeah.
and Zach Orji.
Okay.
They came to the house in Sule. That was when, then film was centered in Sule. We had where all the actors you want to see at Palau Bankole in Sule at Winnie's Hotel. So when they came to the house, you have artists, they came to the house and all those things. And they said they want to use me to act as a child actor and all that. And my grandfather said no. In his words in Igbo, maybe little more mas.
Meaning you're not going to spoil my children.
Yeah, he
from
won't
here.
spoil my child because the industry is full of a lot of things. So he said, no, 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 maybe later. And funny enough, it is the time that I later discovered that OJ was doing film because OJ served my grandfather,
Oh,
OJ Productions.
okay.
And they were the big marketers then. So I had all those opportunities to be part of the industry. But I did not join, but I knew that I'm interested and I like the entertainment industry. And I wanted to tell story differently. And that is why I eventually, with some experiences I had from Lagos, came down to the east. In fact, when I decided I was going to base in Anambra, um, my family kicked against it. How would you grow up in Lagos? There's so much opportunity. Why don't you work here? Why don't you start life here? Why would you leave every single thing? It's not Anambra Kichi. And it was a struggle, but I told them that there's a dream and there's a reason staying here. I don't want to do everything they are doing there. Although, of course, we know Lagos is the entertainment hub,
Hope, yeah.
but you can learn what they do in Lagos and bring it home. And that is why we're here. We're still in filmmaking and we're pushing every single day.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Toba. This story you just told is just like early 2000s. Because I can remember 2004, that was like, I was in Okoten. And then filmmakers do come around. And then they come to our primary schools where we are doing dramas and they're telling us, okay, you do this, we'll do this. And then, anyway, we got deceived. But then, here we are today.
You got deceived,
Yeah,
really?
we got deceived.
Yeah, because a lot of people were actually.
So most of us ended up acting scripts that were already in the market, and then I don't know how that happened, but then you finished acting and discovered that maybe your neighbor is already playing. Say, what does script I act in a school? Yeah, and it's already done. So they were using us, but then it prepared us for how far we've come
Yes,
today.
of course.
So coming down to Anambra, like everybody will always want to compare what we do here to what we do in Lagos.
Okay.
What has it been like producing in Anambra? You can cite some of your struggles, some of the films you've done, at least for your audience to equally go see them and then come back and judge you.
Okay.
Because now we listen and
Alright.
we don't judge, but we can hold grudge.
The first official Nollywood film I did was titled Forerunner. I had Amechi Monaco of
Blessed
Blessed Memory
memories.
as my father in that film. And it boils down. This story would tell about the sincerity of investing in filmmaking. So I had told a young guy who I believed had passion in filmmaking that, okay, I want to produce, right? Because I believe in the creative industry. And I know the financial implication.
Yeah.
Then I also see filmmaking as a business. Even when we try to do good films,
And
that
tell
tell
our
the
own
yeah,
story.
that tell the story of our people and project us out there as very wonderful people. So I released some funds to this guy. He gave me a budget of about 2 million. I was at
That
that time.
was then.
I was done. So
Try it now.
and you know, but 2 million that time is currently, you should know, because I think
You
then
were supposed to do make a good film.
dollar was at
160.
one something, yes, then.
160.
So now I released that to him. 2 million was a big money. And the guy wasn't really sincere. He managed a lot of calls. I believe he used my money to do a lot of personal things. In fact, he was supposed to pay Amechi for, I think, probably 2 or 3 days. He had to limit it and overstretched him, trying to make him shoot how many scenes in one day. I saw the stress in his face. I wasn't happy, right? Because I'm like, no, things shouldn't be done this way. Even when you know that you pay an artist his artist fee, you don't have to overstretch or overuse that artist. If you do, your story might probably lose
Its vitality.
the stuff you really
Yeah.
wanted to get with it. So then I got a little discouraged then. The job didn't come out the way I envisaged or the way I wanted it to. I felt some sort of, I was betrayed for trusting you and all that. Then eventually I kept on going. Then I started talking to people about filmmaking and all that. And there's what they call, it might be a stereotype, but in every stereotype, some of them can be true story.
Facts, yeah.
So when you talk to some persons about filmmaking and acting, they have these ways to
Exactly.
perceive you, and this is their strong reservation. Filmmakers are irresponsible people. They're often seen as persons who come to locations, smoke, drink, and live a very unhealthy lifestyle,
Womanized.
and womanized too. So I said, okay, I think I'm going to do something differently. Then I tried to know if I could actually work with people and collaborate. That was when it dawned on me that our people are not ready for collaboration.
Oh, now you're coming to this point.
then I'm coming. Then again, when we often compare filmmaking with that of Lagos and here, the Lagos people or their market has come to understand what filmmaking is. They understand it for the business it is. They understand it for making their place the entertainment hub. They've understood it by making their place a tourist area where people come to. Some people could travel to Lagos and want to go to some areas because they had this artist that you talk about lives and stays here. Everybody wants to go there. But when I came here, I discovered that there's no strong support. Even the Lagos state government indirectly somehow support movie making. We didn't have it here. Probably, maybe recently, we're seeing the governor trying to do something. For him to be building a fun city and all that, it means, okay, I'm beginning to. But then, there's nothing like that great support. And of course, if you must do a good film, you must have a good money with a good team.
Good money with a good team.
Yes. So that's it. So here it's not been easy, but thank God we're moving. We're doing jobs.
Okay, I wouldn't exonerate myself from the struggles of what filmmakers see down here because I've done a couple of jobs here too. And then right from the renting of equipment to hiring of crew and cast, and then even to getting locations and access to certain environments or opportunities, even to giving people advertisement, I have come to see that collaboration is one thing that we need down here. But the challenging thing is, what is the problem? What is the broken ligament that makes collaboration almost impossible down here?
So proprietorship, Chukodi and Sons. Yes.
Okay.
The me mentality. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. It has to be me. right? Or Ombotego. I'll speak it. I have to once in a while speak our dialects. I'm more Igbo, and I'm too proud of it. So now, should I give you my money to now make you?
Mm.
All right. Then there's a thing of I don't trust you. You have sense. I have sense. You can't be telling me it's a limit feel. Find the jury ego. How would what you don't have be hungering you now? Do you understand? Then, because there are a lot of our veterans who lived some sort of irresponsible life,
Yeah.
with all due respect, who, when they become sick, they start talking, asking for arms and all that. Some persons don't take filmmakers as serious people. At times, they see you as one very broke person looking for who to steal from. But when you have persons who would um, say they want to do one very low budget film and they're doing audition, and when girls come, they are told to pay 20,000 naira for you to get a movie role. Do you understand? So the issue of collaboration is a problem. Recently, there's a job in Edo, I think
Michael.
Michelle, and all of them are coming together to collaborate to do. That's Nigeria artists versus that of Ghana. They are coming together. They want to do a good film. And doing a good film is not child's play. It's resources and all that. And that is what we don't have here. The average Igbo man believes in what I said earlier. Chukwudi and Sons. He believes in myself, my family, me. He does not believe in PLC. He does not understand what a PPP is. At times, when you tell him something, he feels you want to rip him off. Even when what you're doing, even when you've tried the best you can to convince him beyond reasonable doubt, he still feels that you want to rip him. So no, upon I actually made this film now, I will do it myself and I'll be there to monitor it. So it's a problem.
Sorry to cut you, but don't you think that the average Igbo man has not been convinced enough by our people down here? Because a couple of persons out there, like we always compare, actually gets the average Igbo man to sponsor their jobs. Like I know in Merryman, for example, Merryman 3, I saw Valentine Ozibo's name there as one of the executive producers. So don't you think our people here has not been able to convince the average billionaires down east? Because the whole goal of this thing is to actually create an awareness where people would see value to put their money
The
in.
average billionaire has a myopic mentality.
Do you think so? Or you know
Yes.
so?
Most Igbo billionaires has some sort of myopic mentality. They have the mentality that they can freely invest in Lagos and get back, and they would not get anything here.
But we have main market.
They don't care. This is why when they face some things, I will not digress. But the thing is, Val, you mentioned Val, all right? Val is contesting election where? Anambra.
Yeah.
What's up now? How many filmmakers have you sponsored here? Of course, it's likely going to see this video. Do you understand? You don't go to Lagos. We had Stanley them, Stanley them build hotels in Lagos and all those things. And each offer, if you ask them a very simple question, they tell you that Lagos is more valuable. You'll make your money very fast in Lagos than here. That is the same mentality that is affecting them from investing there. I'm not saying that some of our big guys are not investing here too. But of course, we see that there are bad characters of individuals. There are still bad characters which deter people from wanting to invest.
Okay.
You can give somebody, some of them will tell you a story of them giving money to somebody who said he wants to do film. At the end of the day, he did not do well. Thank you. This reminds me of something. There was a job I did for 3 months. I came out as the best actor for that job. 3 months. As an upcoming artist, I was paid a huge sum for that job. Now, this is a job that was allegedly sponsored by a France company in Lagos. The guy who became the producer was given a very big chunk of money to produce that series. It's a series. And when money was released to him, he was told specifics. These are areas you have to use. Those things were put into consideration when they were budgeting during the time of pre-production.
Sure.
So everything was entered. They had Pacta on Savannah. They had all the agreement. Every single thing was there. But now, what did this guy do? Because he wants to be greedy and probably eat 50-60% of the money, he came down to the east. This job I'm talking about, we had Nkoli Wansuka in the job. I know Nkoli was lodged in one of the hotels in Oka, one of the big hotels in Oka. I'm telling you, this is a very big job. And she was in that job for more than 3 weeks or 1 month. We had Chinaya that does, not Nebe, there's a Chinaya that does, I forgot her surname, but she does all these Lagos jobs now. Even I think she has been featured in a cinema movie.
Okay.
We had a lot of persons in that job. We shot in a community in Anambra. I'm not saying we don't have good environments, but there are some jobs and there are some stories you want to tell. You cannot cheat on your location. So because the guy wanted to play a smart one, not that there is no resources. In fact, this job was supposed to open a movie app. They wanted to use it. Everybody in that job was supposed to become extremely popular. 3 good months. You know what 3 months is? I drove every single day. They camped us in the duplex. I told them I wouldn't want to stay. So I drove every single day from my house to location. When we are done, I returned home. At times 10 p.m. and all that. So you see, this Igbo guy or man that this money was released to by this company, do you think that company will want to do business with another Igbo guy?
But it couldn't even could have been another tribe. I think hold on, Dennis. So I think that
If I brought tribe thing, my brother.
that's the point.
Let's leave.
It
Let's
could
leave the
be
tribe.
any
No,
other
no, no.
person.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm not making it a tribal thing. So let's not go into a tribal debate, a tribal war.
So where I'm coming from is this: any other person could have done the same. But down here, I think I was engaged in a conversation where I was discussing with somebody that our people don't have the film culture necessitated for them to sponsor movies because we've not been able to offer them something worthwhile.
Where did film start from?
Here, definitely that's the argument. This morning, before as I was preparing for my house, somebody sent me a clip of Ifediche. And she said, she's a woman engineer, and she said that this movie is a trash to her because Ifediche as a woman was rejected job opportunities because she's a woman and engineering is not meant for women. And the only story that can be coined to that rejection, debasing the woman gender, was for her to start making up. And not even the mechanized up. She was still using her hand.
Okay.
And to be sincere, if I'm talking from my own perspective, I told her I don't think this is the director's motive or the producer's motive for this story. But with that perception, a global audience will accept her debate more than mine. I don't know if you're getting where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I get you.
So
but that's if you don't make your case well.
That's the point. Have we been able to produce something worth the while? Because I am very sure that if we present business to our business brothers, they might be able to give us the sponsorship we need.
Our business brothers must first work on their mentality. I do real estate, all right? And I told somebody, hey, Dennis, what's up? I need a property. And I say, this property is 120 million. This guy tells me it's expensive. Who know the knock? Then he goes to Lagos and he's told the same kind of property is 1.2 billion or 500 million. He pays for it. You ask him, why would you come and be pricing this one here? But rather buy the one in Lagos. He tells you that he believes that Lagos is more money. That tomorrow if he wants to sell, he will still sell higher and all those things. It is mentality. Just like when I talk to people, somebody tells you, these are things that are mentality. Now, that guy, I told you my story of what the guy did to me. Did I stop filmmaking? Did I pack my things to leave Anambra? No. I've done jobs in Anambra. What happened to Sunday on Sunday 17th? I've done jobs. There's one coming out, why me? And all that. Now, I do them because I believe in our cause. You don't force a person to do investment. They see good films. I'm saying it to our brothers. You see good films. You enjoy these films. Come on. Stop the nonsense comparison. When you bring your money to us, we have good hands. We have gifted hands. We can do good jobs for you.
Again,
And you love it.
I think the place of documentation is actually one of the areas that most film producers don't take serious, especially down here.
Yeah.
Because recently I'm on a project and I drafted contracts for artists. It's sounding strange to them. It's so terrible. And I come to understand that you're giving somebody who has been doing light and sound a contract to sound for do only sound, and he's telling you I am sorry, I am doing light and sound, and then he's even telling, why would I need to sign a document for me to do light and sound? So in business, sometimes
would you blame them? Do we have a strong film academy in Anambra?
Is that the fault of the filmmakers?
We're talking about making good films. We're talking about collaboration. We're talking about convincing our people. Now, if we want it, the government has a role to play. Individuals have a role to play. Build good film academies. Standard, we have the money. Anambra currently under Soludo has the highest IGR in the southeast. Build that film academy. Educate our people on the pros and cons. Let them know these things. The reason the Anambra man in Onitsha will not give you 400 million to do a film is not that he does not have the money.
Okay.
He does not understand the business aspect of filmmaking.
And how many producers has been able to actually present a business proposal on filmmaking down here?
Even the producers are going to
So here we go again. Anambra State is currently working on something called an award.
Okay.
And I believe the intention of the governor is to raise a structure. Intentions of the government.
I like the word intention.
To raise a structure through that medium.
What if it's a political thing?
Well, I am not there.
Why will you pause? You brought it up. What if it's political?
I am not there, so I wouldn't know if it is political. But then we know our people. I always have this reservation for myself. I said, whatever the government throws to the public, most times will die off.
Okay.
I always believe that if government wants to raise a structure, they should make it a private-public sector thing.
Yeah, it should be a PPP.
Yeah. So when there is a board privately managing this thing for the public, then it can be a structure. I think that is one of the reasons why community secondary schools in our most communities are not dead yet.
Okay.
So if we say state-owned film schools starts strutting out in Anambra State, for example, is going to help in reorganizing or awareness to our people.
Reorientation.
Yes.
Okay.
Or for our people to start seeing value in the business of filmmaking. Or let me call it collectively creative economy.
And there's a problem. See, on the aspect of educating the people, extremely important. You know, there was a job I was doing and a girl was going to act. Her father is a policeman. The girl was upset. Her father said, what she did there? I should come. In the film, all these things. And when the girl was done, I took it upon myself to drive to her place to meet her father and tell her she's in my production, I'm responsible. And your daughter did not do anything you will not be proud of.
Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get that a lot.
Now, then again, there was an apartment I took my people to shoot at. So the manager, when she saw us, the first she said it was in the film. I said, what was the resentment with us? The way she did her face. She said, me, we won't shoot for Asaba. Now him director, they tell me, say, go sleep with me. He go do this one. I nearly died for Asaba. This one happened. This one do me this one. The girl has lots and lots of stories of hurt, abuse, disrespect to tell. So while we are trying to have people collaborate, while we're trying to tell people Come, bring your money. Let's come together and build a strong. Let's do films that can compete, not just with Lagos films, but films all over the world. We can, we can shoot a film in Nigeria that will beat some films abroad.
It's not some. I don't want to touch that
A
table.
lot of
Just leave
films,
that
a
table.
lot of films
Leave
abroad.
that
But the
table.
thing, not true. Now, but the thing is, we have to also educate ourselves as filmmakers. In your production, what are you doing?
This is where I'm coming to.
Are you taking advantage of people? Do you take money from people and lie to them you're giving them scripts or they're going to act? Do you use people in your production?
No.
What are your intentions?
Now, I want to take this away a bit from the public and bring it to us filmmakers. I have situations where parents have to call me to confirm I'm aware their daughters are coming to a set that I'm involved, just to be sure it's miracle there. And then they will keep sounding it as a warning. It is you, I know.
Well, that can be actually scary.
That's actually a trap. To be sincere,
yes,
that's a trap on its own. So most times I will even tell them, please don't come, because as much as I am trying to take responsibility for this person's protection against the public, I don't know the person's inner character that could equally break the so-called
agreement. To come to your location as she moves to another place.
I had one, a makeup artist whose father is a deacon in a church, came to Enugu to shoot with me, left my set, slept over somewhere and came back the next day with no explanation.
You are going too far.
So I don't want to go to this angle of this conversation.
See, it has become a norm. You know, somebody has his fiancé on set, and a popular artist came to that set. The fiancé left his hotel room to go and be nice to the popular artist, believing that when they are done, the popular artist will take her from the shackles of difficulty and project her. Those were the lies he told her that night. He did what he did and left.
Okay.
And that relationship was broken. So sorry. Let me just talk a bit about this because you raised it. Our girls must learn to have dignity. Not everybody is meant to be a filmmaker.
Okay.
You're not good, so you're not good. I'm not saying there's no room for improvement. You can improve, because I know when we were taught psychology, I don't know if it's one further who said, give me a dozen of infants in my specified word, I'll make him what I want he or she to be. Now, we can become anything we want to be, so long as we give it time,
develop it.
We try to learn, we give ourselves to learning and what have you. Now, you want to be a filmmaker or you want to be acting and all that, and you're not good. Firstly, you must accept you're not good. Because you see, most of these cases of sleeping with someone because you want movie role is because you're not good.
It's a pattern of collaboration.
If you're good, the producer, who is sensible and sees his job as a business, would not come and start discussing sex.
Now you're back to my problem.
He would discuss what you are, professionalism, how good you are, and will treat you so nicely as not to even lose your person. Because while he is projecting you, he is protecting his business.
Most of the time, we complain about collaboration in Southeast. I have tried it once, it didn't work. I've tried it twice.
Hello, sorry. There's one girl, look for my friend, one out there, please put her, she's going to act.
Now, before we even get to this angle, I have a script, I have a story, and I want somebody to come in as a script writer in collaboration and develop the story. I want somebody to come in as a cinematographer on collaboration and shoot this job. And I want somebody to color it, I want somebody to cut it, I want somebody to give me my sound design, sound production, and all of that. And we're going to do this as a team. Bring up a story for a global stage and aim on equity. And nobody is open to that.
Equity.
First, I feel
money for hand.
First, I feel that then most of the people I've met don't even understand
what
the term
equity is.
Equity. That's number one. Two, I think again that some are scared of reopening wounds or sores
Of
that past
things.
experiences
Yes, I thought
had
so.
caused them. Thirdly, I feel that they are already too engaged to sacrifice without a pay at
Good.
the moment. But aside these reasons I give, I have equally come to find out that some are actually jobless.
Okay.
They have that time, they just lack the orientation to grow
But
together.
how do you put let's see here, we have to have holistic view. How do you tell a person who is jobless? Of course, a jobless person does not have money. Except you are jobless and do Yahoo.
Even Yahoo is joblessness.
That's what I'm saying now. Except you're jobless and do Yahoo. But when you do Yahoo, you will get money in this road.
Okay.
So you can afford to be jobless.
For the lucky few.
Yeah, but a jobless person that is not doing streets, that is jobless, is a broke person. Now, how can you tell? How can a jobless person who is hungry and needs money, how can you preach equity to the person? Even if you tell the person that, okay, this production is going to be very popular, we're going to do that, we're going to do this, you'll be earning 260,000 naira every month from next year. The person is not listening to that, bro. Bro, give me 30K. I am hungry. I am not sure if I'm going to survive next year. You know, I say equity. Get the equity again. You don't get? Do you know what I'm saying? Now, there are a lot of things people consider. Somebody can consider, what if I'm not alive to enjoy your equity? For me, I prefer equity. And for anybody to think about equity, it takes a lot of intelligibility and patience to accept equity. Equity does not pay immediately. Equity is like long suffering. We keep doing something, you're not getting paid, but you have equity. And you know you're covered because the agreement you signed is a legal binding. You have your copy, they have their copy. You know those things. But another fear is this. When you're doing equity with somebody who is Shukudi and Sons.
A mind.
No, not just mind. Even in business. You did equity with Mr. A. And Mr. A is the sole sponsor of a production. What if, after giving 4 years, the guy leaves, gets kidnapped, got shot, and dies? What happens to your 4 years of struggle? Who will carry on the studio? You will not stop his brothers who are not interested in shooting film from selling his stuffs. That's what I mean when they not call you last with camera. Because how much is this Canon camera? How much is this Lumix camera? They sell it off. Do you get?
But there should be a clause that contains that.
The clause. How many persons in the midst of life were in debt? But how many of us accept it? How many persons consider those slots when writing those agreements? A lot of agreements have a lot of lacunas.
Yeah.
There are those loopholes that are there that does not protect the persons who have talked about equity. And again, who pays you equity? So when the person dies, who carries on the dream? No matter what you do, because the person who has the production has proposed equity. He has a good vision. He has a good dream. Anybody doing equity is a nice guy. Because, of course, you know Bill Gates has less than 2.8% of Microsoft. And he's the highest shareholder. Now, people would rather equity with somebody who is already successful than somebody who is building. If you tell me you have 3 million watch hour, 5 million views on your video, and you call me and you tell me equity, I know you're already earning.
But I won't call you if I'm already earning for equity.
I'm just giving you. No, the companies do shares, all right?
That means there's something
Now,
you must bring in before you can earn.
yes,
Which is
no, what you're
financial.
bringing, no, it doesn't have to chill now. It doesn't have to be financial, all right? In filmmaking, everybody has a contribution to make. The guy acting is bringing his acting skill.
Okay.
That is what he has. That is why you even negotiated equity with him at the first place, because you're supposed to pay him for his time, his ability to read those scripts, carry them, do it. If he does a very bad acting, it destroys the money you used to shoot the film because he did not interpret the character.
Yeah.
So you can have your skill as a bargaining power. But I'm just speaking for some persons who get scared of equity. Now, but if he's a businessman like me, I love to take risk. I love to take risk. I learned from Trump a lot. Trump is supposed to be in jail if he did not win this election. So he took the risk, did everything, and he won. And today his whole cases are gone. Alright? Now, I can be willing to take the risk of equity. While I do that with you, I'm praying. And I'm saying, keep him. Let this company grow. I'm beginning to see the company as a PLC because I have a stake in it. Do you understand? But some persons, that's not their problem. And the reason I will accept equity is because I'm a businessman. I know there was a time I had a conversation with you, I would say, when he was in charge in Anambra State. I told him, why is it I love movie makers are broke? And he made some explanations. Some persons give their entire life to filmmaking without being creative in other ways. You are doing business part of filmmaking. That is why you're not hungry. Do you get what I'm saying? You're a producer. When people call you to produce for them, they pay you. Alright? You make your money. Now, somebody whose life is all about acting and has done film for 10 years and has not blown. There's one location I went to and somebody said, I am 22 years in the industry. This guy does not have up to 400 followers on Facebook. But he has been in business for 22 years. It's a pathetic situation. It's a painful one. He loves what he's doing, but he never blew.
Okay, in such situations, because I met one yesterday, one of the oldest I know from my age, because I will talk about my own bracket. One of the oldest set designers I know came into a car yesterday. And then while we talk, while he mentioned situations and instances of what happened in the industry, I was like, why is it now that you're starting a YouTube channel on your own? Why is it at this point where you're already singing your farewell songs that you're coming to compete with the audience of content creators? So the sickness in the collaboration, or let me say the bug of collaboration in the industry today, can be spelled out as knowledge that
Yes.
one has.
Yes.
So how do we start curbing these things? Because one, the person who is coming to me, like I already said, if I have 3 million watch hours, I will pay you to act and you go. That's the honest truth.
Because I would not want to share my body.
Are you getting it? So collaboration should be for those who are actually broke, because you don't have money to do this. That is why you should collaborate.
Say broke now. You can collaborate with very rich to get it to you are limited by the kind of film you shoot.
The point is this, one of the reasons why we are, see, I'll be honest with you, I've met a young man who doesn't have money, but just his life story could put him in a right place if he has a good production team. And he could have gone to anybody in town. I don't want to start calling them, because over there in Enugu and here in Anambra, I know a couple of persons that are doing well when it comes to equipment. And these people can decide, okay, we are bringing equipment, you're bringing story, you're bringing your fellow actors and actresses. Let's do this together. Because this is your story, take 20%. For the equipment I'm bringing in, let's take in 30%. Then the 50% is to pay every other person equity.
Okay.
But then this mindset that first I don't have, he doesn't have, this one doesn't have, we now look up to the big man. That is why we are even thinking the route of looking for sponsorship, because collaboration eliminates boundaries.
Yeah, it does. It does, because and there's something there's another strong issue about collaboration when it comes to monetary collaboration. When you have the big man give you the money, to some extent, he has a way of calling the shots, depending on the agreement.
It is not he has a way. They
He has
do.
a strong. Now that is like taking us back to the times of marketers.
Simple.
When they control
the market and the
market and the whole
storylines.
storylines. Now, but you see, an average person who is a content creator or a filmmaker has a social media handle. And the reason he's opening it is because he heard that social media is paying. So he wants to be paid. Now, A lot of persons are not doing. If you can collaborate skill, passion, and love for filmmaking, I believe collaboration will work. But a lot of persons don't have the love or the passion. What they want is whatever.
A lot of person has a love and passion. Okay, let me tell you something that happened 2 days ago. I have a young man who actually stayed with me, done from the my era of stage drama to full migration into film production. Very good, very articulate in script, character interpretation, and all of that. I was to produce for a particular group, and I called him and I said, "This thing has a future for somebody like you who is passionate about acting. Can you come in and take this role?" The first question he asked me is, "How much?" I told him, "Are you stupid? I already told you this thing has a potent
But why would you tell him?
benefit."
Why would you ask him if he's stupid? He has
No.
a right to ask you how much.
No, I already in my first conversation with him, I already told him what the structure was like.
Okay.
So him listening
you
to
already
me,
explained to him?
yes, him after listening to me did not take in the place of coming in collaboration.
Are you sure he has eaten?
My point is this: at the end of the day, he goes around picking up peanuts and still remains where he is without growing. So, and again, I asked him a very simple question. You're asking me how much I'm paying you. What is your audience reach? Because as a producer now, if I want to bring you in as an actor for collaboration, am I equally considering how many people will watch you?
Your social media presence.
How many people are willing to watch you? So it will not be like one man that contested for election, his wife voted somebody else.
Well, that's crazy.
So if your own family cannot comfortably watch you on tele or go on YouTube with their data, they already know you as a slave in the family.
Okay.
So because that is it. When I started film, I know what my father told me. He said, "I've discounted you off as ones I am expecting to be something in life. If you wouldn't do ministry, you won't go into full-time business, you won't do education, academics fully, and it's in on that rack here. And trust the version of filmmakers we had then, they just wear short neck and one papa's cap, one terrible singlet, and off we go."
I'm telling you.
So you zooming around with these people actually makes you onyezuzu.
Yeah.
So I didn't blame my dad then. I used to say this thing. At least when I grew up, I understood my father's perspective of life. Because yes, I was actually misbehaving. Until people like Chizeko Taji, Mrs. Chinyere, and the rest of them, Mommy Vicky them, see, look at the mistake we your elders made.
Yes. So you don't make the.
So you don't make them. And now you're trying to tell somebody in this generation, start looking at futuristic projects, and is constant on picking up peanuts. Yeah. What will you have to tell them?
Okay. Okay. Let me go to that before I ask what I want to say. The thing is, every human being has strong instinct. When you know that something has future, the best time to go into collaboration with a production house is in the foundation and infant stage.
Simple.
Because it gives you the room to belong, to be a part of.
Yes.
And gives you a right to demand when you think you're supposed to demand for things. So let's rather collaborate than compete. Let's rather work together than destroy or fight each other. But now this brings me to another thing, because we have audience, and the people who are going to watch this, some persons will get convinced that, okay, I want to collaborate, I want to work with productions and all that. What is the protective right and the protection clause of a collaborator? I'm coming. When some people sign their contracts 3 months.
Blindly.
Some are 3 months, some are 6 months, some are 1 year, some are 15 years, some are 10 years, and what have you. And whether you like it or not, a production would never sign a contract for you that would not benefit the production.
That's number one.
A production puts herself first before you. Then you that is coming in, you're putting yourself first too, but in understanding that the production has spent a lot and needs to recoup. So whilst they are recouping, you're also getting something. And funny enough, this is the life cycle. The person who you sign would eventually grow and start his or her own production. Now, what is the protection of this person? Because now you call me to come into your production to work with you in collaboration as an artist, and I'm supposed to be shooting with you. You're projecting me, good and fine. You're doing all that. I'm doing my own part of it. What protects my agreement with you? What if you give me a 1-year agreement, and we have a collaboration, you kick me out? Is there a protection that when that film goes high and start earning, I'm going to earn? Where is the transparency going to be if I'm no longer there? I'm giving you an example because these are human beings. You might come the first time, you guys work well, things are good. Some persons begin to display some sort of character that is not okay for you. And because you don't want this person's character to corrupt other persons in the production, and you want them out, you tell them to go. Now, when they go without getting something, they feel you've used them. And they're out there destroying the name of the production and all these things. How does a person who fell out, who must have done jobs for the production, earn from what the person has done?
Okay, this thing you just said now, I want to cite a situation. I don't know how true it was. The recent online saga of Dennis Orji popping up against Angel and a couple of persons who have been ranting about I own this song, I don't own this song, we were together, then there was a split. So at this point, I feel like by the next time I'm having this conversation, I'll get an entertainment lawyer on ground. Right. Because this orientation needs to go out there.
Yeah,
because an agreement, for me, I wouldn't sign anything with you if my lawyer is not there. That is me. I am like that. You get me? We talk about it. We are the two of us sat down and stipulated it too. You gave to your lawyer to put it to order to terms. After his draft is done with his white paper, I'm taking it back to my lawyer. And my lawyer tells me the terms, and he looks at my own security, because this is where I think most of us missed it earlier on. Your security. You must put that selfishness there.
Yeah.
It is not wrong. I am like that. I say it openly. It is not wrong to always put in your security in place, because you're dealing with humans. You're dealing with somebody who can change. You're dealing with somebody who can. We can sign agreement to that as man to man, and tomorrow he wakes up and tells me he's a girl. And then I go to court and
I identify as she him.
As a she him. And then tomorrow I go to court and they said you signed this thing with Mr. And then you're coming to court with Miss. I don't know how that sounds, but it could be. So I always look out for.
And with the way our judicial system is now, but I won't say anything.
Okay.
They'll pick me up.
It goes I. So, so I would want to advise young people out there, please insist on documentation and be very, very selfish on your security. Because yes, it is the cheapest way to grow collaboration. Definitely. Okay, let me not say cheapest, the most affordable way to growth. Because every year we graduate, like Cynthia was saying last week, we graduate thousands of theater art students.
How big?
Anyway.
I know that there was a shot there.
Yeah, it's alright. But then, every year we graduate thousands of these students to come and face the industry labor market. And then they come up expecting something that has not been put to place.
I'm a theater graduate. I'm this. I deserve to be paid this. You can't just call me. You know, there's a problem I had. There was a girl that came to my production, and she did something. I think it's just a day that she did something. Not even up to a day. Space of 4 or 5 hours. And the guy who sent her, I sent him money already. You know, so the next time I told her, she told me, I'll not come. You guys did not pay me. And I was like, there's no way you will do something for me. I'll not give you something at least. Let's encourage each other. I have done 3 jobs where I was not paid a penny. Now, it's for the love
of film.
Of filmmaking.
Sure.
I feel very excited.
But that's voluntary.
When I shoot, yes, when I shoot a sweet story,
And
that
I'm
I'm part
involved.
of,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for me. I don't know for you. And I told the girl, communication is key. You should have called me. Not telling me you cannot. I told her the popular language of Asaba, Ejiri who game a film.
Why are you bringing Asaba into
cannot.
this?
Yes. Ejiri who game a film. I told her, you cannot be all demanding. Probably you're good, but come on now, there are persons better than you, 50 waiting and wishing to shoot. So if you had come, don't, because the problem people have is that they can come to your production, they would not want to encourage conversation on what is there for me. Is when they are done, they start expecting.
Yeah, expectations are high.
You are not in the producer's pockets. You don't know what his budget is. Probably it's because of his constraint in budget. That's why I even called you in the first place. Then he calls you the same problem that somebody who is better than you would have given him that is avoided. You now come into production and start giving that same problem.
Okay, let me take you back. You just mentioned the production that happened in one of the communities here in Anambra State. What if this producer was constrained to that point? Because most times we producers know how these things go. A commissioned job, for example, might carry a targeted budget. But we know how production goes. Production is not one thing like, what's it called? Cash inflow and cash outflow, ledger and then bookkeeping and documentation.
At all.
So, in the course of one or two things, a producer is sometimes transfixed in his own.
At times he overspends above budget.
Yes.
Most of the time.
And it's becoming a norm because one, just like you stated, and we all know, it is not like you're saying it, it's a fact we all know. There is no structure that enables filmmakers to make the job easier for us.
There's no.
To be sincere, I used to tell people, if we have the enablement that Hollywood has, they would be nowhere close to us. Because the amount of effort we put in to imitate what enabled the environment give us. I remember the first time I started doing action films. I started watching action films, Nigerian action film, not the one likes of Brotherhood and the rest of them. I mean, when Hans Anuku, Jerry Amilo used to use gun, collecting Labista.
They were nice.
Do you get?
They were nice compared to what we started having.
To the point of when we started having the generals in campus gym, I can also the OBs.
Yeah.
I can't remember those days where you see actors go to do. There was a video I showed you the other day of the video scene, and you said this was just organic, just because they heard the video is coming, the crowd was going to crowd. I know those days when you have to go and beg people to make that happen. So the constraint of producers are unlimited. It's just about how much can you manage, and this how much can you manage comes with the experience you've had. Because sometimes it is on this particular set that you know that, okay, if this thing happens, this is what I should do in the next time. But by then, you've already made that mistake.
Yes. You've made the mistake. The thing is, for me, I would always say this. We have for every good thing you have, you would probably have, you at times have the bad and the ugly. Some producers, some of them are not really knowledgeable, and some of them, you go vex you, I'm a producer too, but the thing is, some producers are not knowledgeable. Some producers do not have financial intelligence, and you first at times look at the story that you want to shoot, then look at the environment, then look at your pockets. That's why pre-production, you know these things, of course, you understand it very well. That's why pre-production is extremely important and is very good. But be that as it may, the essence for this podcast majorly is talking about collaboration. I want to submit that we as a people must be open to collaboration for us to be able to compete very well with the Lagos market.
Do we really need to compete with Lagos market?
Whether we like it or not, Lagos has beaten us hands down. Sorry. Whether you like it or not. In fact, there was a time my twin sister told me, this is the one that they always shoot. Ha! I'll go and watch Lagos film, or I'd rather watch a Lagos film than you people's film.
I think that's where the point is. Because I don't think Lagos considers us in what they do.
They don't care.
That's the point. So why do we have to always put Lagos there in order to make
Because
us
you mentioned it already. Enabling the environment. We are seeing Soludo tie the roads. Okay. Now,
and paint the bridges too.
we have that is beautiful, because if you shoot in that bridge, it gives you a very lovely glamour. It has good flavor, right? Because it looks good.
Yeah.
Now, what if we have Soludo tie the entire Aguaka, those estates there? What if it ties Ngozika estate? There are some films you will shoot, they will think you shot it in Lagos or in Abuja because of the environment. Then, government policies in place. How many green areas do we have in Oka? Or in estates? We have in Agoka.
Mopo base.
No, that's not the green area I'm talking about. when I'm talking about green areas like what you have in Adeni Jones, in Ikeja and the rest of them, where people who build houses and estates must create
space for green areas.
Build your trees, have all those things. Those views are really nice.
In fact, this thing you're saying, I remember House of Assembly. Come on, we have a mini pine garden there. That if you dare go there to do anything, those policemen there or security, I don't know who they are, but I think they're mostly policemen. Most times it is difficult convincing them to do a content with that environment, as unkept as it is. Because most times I always look at Ekweme Square and I'll be like, what is this sun environment that we're creating here? Because there is no single shade apart from those zincs there. And I don't think they're trying to put any insulator. Unless they have plans.
I think the place is under rehabilitation.
Okay.
And some sort of reconstruction. So let's believe let's believe that the governor would do more cleaner jobs. But we know that the Fun City, nobody's advertising for Soludo, but the Fun City he's building will actually give us more of those fields that we're looking for. That is if
it's included.
Allow us.
Because talking of creative economy, because I know this current government is interested in the creative economy, which is actually the creative angle.
What $3 trillion richer, bigger than cryptocurrency?
So
richer than Bitcoin.
If we are talking of creative economy, I think the heart of every filmmaker should be having some butterflies and trickles around it if what is needed is looked into. Because a fun city for me, it's not a film village.
Of course, it's not.
It is not. Because how many people are going to be shooting there?
There are a lot of ambience.
It's in Qatar here. How many people will be shooting there per time? Do you know how many contents that go on every day in Oka alone? Yeah. Let's not talk about the stadium in Onitsha. Talk about ShopRite there. You go there, you see dancers. Oka, it's just a Kweme Square. And luckily we now have a township stadium. And then
I think next cash and carry is coming. If it's not next, then it's a ShopRite.
Yeah,
Agoka. And they're almost done.
Okay. So if we start having the environment, okay, Oka Millennium City is equally there. Can government give a pass that will enable filmmakers to do good jobs there?
Good. Oka Millennium City is
very beautiful.
It's really beautiful. It's a lovely place. The same thing we're talking about, government giving a pass, helping. Can you go to the Anambra State Airport and go and shoot your film?
I heard it's now possible.
They will allow you.
But then the protocol is not being spelled out.
No, so you might say it's possible. They frustrate you on the protocol. You have a time. Of course, every producer has a time frame where he wants to shoot. And at times, you're considering the weather. You're considering what this thing looks like. And you want to shoot. And you're having somebody, they tell you to come to his office every single time. They keep going for the same thing for more than 2-3 months. Come on, you get tired. And for a reason, you might come to the scene where the airport was shown. You kill it with dialogue, which is most of the things we do.
Our limitations are many.
And because apart from having access to the airport, we're supposed to have access to the places. And it's meant to be made affordable for creative minds.
Well,
We can have artificial. You know that if but these are elephant projects.
sure, that's
The,
what I want
the,
to
the Nigerian government can build places like Hollywood. You can have artificial planes. Alright?
Even the one they
Yeah,
they hung in front of Emena Airport, they should take it somewhere.
But we can even have planes that are no longer flying.
Yes,
That could be painted.
they created for sets.
Yes, and they created for
Yes,
sets.
because every time I pass, rain and sun is beating that. Okay, maybe because there is an Air Force base there, but I always ask myself, what exactly is this aeroplane doing on this pillar?
It's the
Because,
Statue of Liberty.
oh,
Yeah. Oh, they didn't tell you.
they didn't tell me.
Oh, sorry. Now you know.
Now I know. Oh, no wonder Flavor sang it. Now you know. So, to the Anambra State government, please, I love the beautiful work undergoing in Anawood, the little efforts.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
I love the effort being put in,
I
but
think they're
there is
training.
more to
They're
do.
also training students too.
Yeah, they are training organic creative economists.
Okay.
I know it's a combination of two ministries, and kudos to them for so far they've come, but there's more to do. The more to do is, aside raising people, there are already existing channels. Create models that would make these existing channels carry the people that are going to train us. Because I've said this before, after 3 months training in a film school, what is next?
Okay. You know, there was something that came to my mind. When they proposed the construction of the Ajokita steel, and they finally started building it in Kogi, in Lokoja, there was strong excitement. The Ajokita steel was going to bring about breakthrough in the steel industry. We're going to manufacture a lot. Shagari then built massive, crazy estates. That place was built very well. And something happened. Over 1,000 Nigerians were sent abroad to learn how to build machines, run the steel complex, And if you visit the steel complex today, you need to cry. Because the structure Shagari puts there, that's even the estate, it has a feel of you're not in Nigeria. The contractors, the people who built that place are great engineers. But when our system did not allow the steel complex function, the persons who were sent could not function with their brains here. So a lot of them
Went back.
The same thing applies to the Arnold training that's going on. When you train people and you don't empower for real, you've given some sort of knowledge. Alright? But you've not really given something when you don't really empower. It's just like going to the village and giving sewing machine to a woman who has not learned how to sew machine. She will sell the machine and eat first. I know in governance, I'm interested in governance a lot. Of course, one day match and I'm going to research. But the thing is, you before you give to a people, you consider what they call felt need. Felt need. What do these people want?
Actually,
What is a thing that will be a propeller? Would you finish training your students, for example, in Anawood, and these students want to do projects individually, and they come to the fund city and they're told they're supposed to pay for this form, they're supposed to pay for this ticket, they're supposed to pay for this thing, and they don't have the money? Would you finish training them and you don't give them some sort of equipment that they need to start up? Do you get? So there are a lot of things that you consider. There was a time, I'll mention it here. There was a time Uche Ekwedefe was sharing exercise books to schools. So I met her for a meeting because, of course, I run campaign against drug abuse, rape, and teenage pregnancy. And somehow the argument I had was simple. I said, you're giving books to people, it's beautiful. But if you people do not consider helping these people who are going through drugs, who are being raped, what you are doing is trash. Why? You can't give book to a girl who was ready to read when her psychologist messed up, she won't do well. Alright? You can't, what she needs is for you to provide help. You should have a care center in every local government in Anambra State where people like this could be taken care of.
Yeah.
You should have great conversations that dissuade boys from perpetuating this action. Not, I tell every time I have a normal quote I say, my quote is simple. You have to educate the boy child to help save the girl child. You don't do rubbish. The same thing with the creative economy. Just like what this partnership brings us back to. The person who is inviting an artist to partner with he or she is doing so because the production has created the environment
For that job
to produce. They have the instruments, they have the cameras, the stands and the lights and everything. They have the story. They have the facility. All they want is come. Let's help you reduce your acting skill. Come and act. Let's showcase you to the world. I think it's something that when somebody is involved, the person should applaud the producer. I'll be like, thank you very much for involving me. Because anybody calling you to collaborate with you,
with his own resources.
yeah, I think the person is a great person. Is a great person. And the person is open to equity with you. Come on now, what else do you want? So I'm talking to my fellow young persons. When you're invited to a production house and you've gone through the production, looking at them, seeing how sincere they can be, it is very imperative to have strong, serious conversations with them. And when you're done with those conversations and it is worthwhile, give in everything. I would always say it. There's always a time for you to be used and a time for reward.
Sure.
So when you're coming up, come on, people should use you. They should use you, but
Like one man in Nigeria that told us, they've used me enough. It is now my turn. So you can breathe harder.
respect yourself. Because I will not talk.
So now to every young people, thank you, Mr. Dennis, for such insightful moment. And I think young people in Nigeria, especially because this is more of putting the Southeast in the map.
Yes.
So most people in the entertainment sector, please help us. I mean, both film, music, spoken word, and all of that. Help us change a real orientation in your head. There is room to sow today and reap tomorrow. And always have this in mind. It is not every job that is going to pay you. But mark you, every job must give you your credit, and that's your portfolio. And trust me, your experience connotes half of your payment. What you know today is what you apply tomorrow. So keep building, keep doing what you're doing, and be open for collaboration. Once again, thank you, Mr. Dennis, for coming. It's a pleasure having you in the studio today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Till next time, I still remain JC Miracle.